have you ever wondered what you can take from business and take it into your private life to be able to get you to the next level? What is it that business can bring to you more personally to get where you want to go? Well, Toastmasters, honored guests, this is a thought that's really worked with me for many years, because I love businesses. I'd love to be able to create businesses, develop it, and be able to fulfill it. But lately, we've also found that we can take the same strategies and apply it to the individual person so that they can get further ahead, so that they can develop themselves just like you would in business. From infancy to fulfillment, you can take a person wherever they're at now and expand where they want to go. Now, you probably have heard a lot of people that have told you how to meditate, how to visualize, how to look forward and plan it out. But here's what's happened is that most people don't do it. So is it the strategy? Is it the person? Is it the conditions? What is it exactly? And here I am to share with you that we can take the same concepts of a business and apply it to an individual to help them get where they want to go. So what is it that a business does that an individual doesn't? And what I'm saying to you is that we plan a lot more on a business than we ever do for ourselves, for our life. We just do. Maybe we're tired by the time we get home, so we don't want to plan anymore. So here's what we're taking a page out of the business world and apply it to the individual. And here's what we call it. We call it business, 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 and a business model for you. Because, as you can see, with businesses, we're able to take a complete business model and put it on one page. Very simple. Now we can take the same business model canvas and apply it to the individual. So, I've been privileged to participate in a book that's coming out called Business Model You, which is based on the concept of business model generation. As you might remember, Business Model Generation, which came out a year ago, written by Alex Osterwalder and 458 other people to coordinate and put that book together. I participated in this Business Model U, which was about 278 individuals that were able to put some thoughts into this and apply it for the individual. So, what we're looking at is a collaboration of many people putting together the thoughts and ideas of business and applying to the individual. And actually, it can be really simple. If you remember the acronym CRRA, which we like to call CRA, but you can remember it CRRA, which stands for create a canvas, create one canvas, reflect on it, think about it, change it, revise it, that's the R, and then take some action. CRA! Don't take that home, don't do that at home, you may scare people, but so create a canvas, reflect upon it, revise it, and then take some action. So when we look at that, we look at a one-page canvas that has 9 components to it. And those 9 components translate into something that's very clear for the individual in terms of who's their client or who's their customer. And if you're working for yourself, maybe your business that you work for is your client. Or if you're an entrepreneur, you have a client. And you look at value propositions, and then you look at how you deliver it, and then you look how you maintain the relationships. Then you look at what resources do you have, or key activities, or partnerships, and what's your cost, and what's your revenue. And so you look at all those components just like a business does in one page. We create a canvas. And if you think of a painter creating a canvas, this is your canvas, where you start to create it and paint it with words, with visuals, with emotions. And so part of what we do is have a canvas where we can update it very easily with Post-it notes. Of course, why Post-it notes, you would say? Because they're so easy to write on, put up, and then change. Because see, our life is very fluid. We change constantly. And maybe it's not the client that we serve that changes a lot. Although if you're an entrepreneur, you may have many clients. You may be one business. But the things that do change are constantly moving is the value that you provide for others. That extends, that grows, that expands beyond it. The other thing that changes is the activities. So those two things, what value do you give for others and the activities that you do for that to get that changes. And so when we look at a canvas, which looks like this, very simplistic, that we can create it on a sheet of paper. We can create it from a technology standpoint and have it on an iPad or an iPhone, or have it something that's visual. And we could start painting it and putting together some Post-it notes on it to create the business model of you. It's a model of who you are now and who you're becoming. So with that, we reflect upon it. We look at what's the purpose that we're using this for. We look at different components of that. If some of you have heard of the Wheel of Life, anyone? We take all those components and put it into here, those things that are important to you, so that you put it into one page. We revise it because maybe there are some things that need to be adapted. And so we make changes by moving the Post-it notes. And here's the nugget of wisdom in this. Because even though it's a business model, for you, you are not alone. And you should not take your endeavor alone. A business, if you can imagine, a business grows because they have a lot of people. And so you grow because you can bring in associates and partners and help you grow. But here's the nugget, that when you put it on a canvas like this and you present it to someone else, whether it's someone that's a good friend or a mentor or a coach or an associate, that they can put input into your life by making suggestions and stepping back and looking at a canvas externally, the nuggets appear. And what I like to say is the opportunities appear, or the spaces, the white spaces that you don't see, or the gaps that keep you from getting where you want to be. That's a canvas. And so we fill it in whatever way that you want, and then we finally take action. The action. How do you act? Now, most people have their own ways of taking action, whether it's a project management approach or taking another canvas approach and looking at all the activities to put on it, as other people have done from the Chicago Ideas Week. So, what's your to-do? What is the extra effort that you're willing to take to bring your business of yourself to a higher level? We'll investigate a canvas. Go to businessmodelU.com or go to my site, profitvisions.com, and download the information about a canvas and look into what all those 9 components are that apply to you, because they do apply to business. And so if it applies to business, it applies to a team, and then it also applies to the individual. So let me hear you shout out what the acronym is. Ready? Correct! Mr. Toastmaster.